I did my act. The tripod juggle, the hug and snuggle, a dog plays dead, a ball on my head, and a one paw spin for Quinn. But I was wasting my time. Quinn couldn't care less. About then, management stepped in. Someone from the local news had showed up. There was Quinn sitting all by himself. It was a public relations disaster. Management walked Quinn past the available dogs, but Quinn had no use for any of them. When Mr. Morale saw what was going on, he said, "Leave Quinn be. He'll figure it out." Quinn didn't figure it out. Week after week, he roamed one end of the main building to the other. I kept an eye on him. It had been so long since I'd gotten a whiff of buttered toast. Buttered toast with toothpaste. You couldn't get any better than that. I wanted Quinn to like me. I wanted him to pick me, so I tried to figure out what was going on with him. There were kids who didn't like reading buddies because they didn't like dogs, or our books were too easy, or they didn't get enough recess. But Quinn wasn't like any of these kids. Quinn was searching for something. I just didn't know what. Then one day, Quinn's wandering took him to the basement. Buster saw him first. He wagged his tail so hard he banged the pen. Two Scotties named Phil and Lil fell all over each other in a frenzy of excitement. Bill the Beagle whipped around in circles. Shag the sheepdog jumped up and banged his paw on the fence and sent a great cloud of white hair drifting like snow to the ground. Quinn walked by them all, but then at cage 92 he slowed down. Metalhead. Metalhead didn't wag his tail. He didn't stick his nose to the fence or dance on his hind legs. He didn't even look up. Quinn stared at him, rocking from foot to foot. Then he sat down. All he needed was a book. The problem was reading buddies didn't go to the basement, so there weren't any books there. For me to go all the way back up to the main building and grab a book between my teeth and hop back down to the basement would take too long. Reading buddies would be over by then. I couldn't remember what day Metal had arrived. I didn't know if he had seen reading buddies in action. All I could think to say was, you wouldn't happen to know any books by heart, would you, Metalhead? Metalhead looked from me to Quinn, then back at me, then back at Quinn. Finally, he opened his mouth and said, "Sam, I am. Sam, I am." Quinn heard this, and his eyes grew large. He flapped his hands as he jumped and took off like he was chasing a deer. When Quinn came back clutching a book, he ran straight to cage 92 with Mr. Morale and management on his heels. Quinn sat down and looked at Metalhead, and Metalhead looked right back. Quinn opened Green Eggs and Ham and turned the pages as Metalhead said the words. "That Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am." It wasn't the way it was supposed to be with a kid reading and a dog with the kid reading and the dog listening, but one look at Metalhead and Quinn scooted up close to each other. It was pretty clear something had happened, something big. After that, I figured Metalhead would get over his boo-hoos and settle like the rest of us, but boy was I wrong. The next time I saw him, he called out, "What about your humans, Chance? Don't you want to go home?" This was not the kind of question Dogtown dogs asked each other. If dogs wanted to talk about how she ended up at Dogtown, that was fine, but you don't ask questions that broke the dog's heart to answer. How do you explain kindness to a machine, a kind of hunk of metal where his heart should have been? I really don't know. There had been a couple of complaints about Metalhead. Not everyone liked that Quinn had chosen him because I had the run of the place. I was the dog who handled dog fights when they arose. So I hopped over to his cage to have a talk with him. Before I could open my mouth, Metalhead repeated his question. What about your humans? You're not locked up. Why don't you go find them? It's complicated. What's complicated about going home? He asked. Everything is black and white for a dog machine. A 1 or a 0. There's no room for nonsense. No understanding of delicate situations, mixed up feelings, forget about him.